Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. That evil guy, the dictator Putin, beat the West without even showing up. Putin was not in the room at G20 and he beat the West. Why? Because the West do not or does not own everybody else. When they talk about the world community, they talk about the three countries, not the 195 countries. In this case, what happened? G20 members agreed to refer to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in a certain way, not in the way the West wanted it. So Putin and Xi Jinping changed the whole thing. Why? Because the world is not listening to the wannabe boss, which is Al Capone. Let me show you. Here is the first article I'm going to feature, Business Insider. It is from today, 4 hours ago, the 9th of September 2023. G20 members agreed to refer to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as, quote-unquote, the war in Ukraine, instead of the war, I'm quoting, against Ukraine, in a capitulation to Putin, who wasn't even there. Who wasn't even there. Why do you think that happened? Because there are some multipolar world right now, and countries that you cannot control, they are going to push back on you or against you. And let me show you. Well, it's useless to say that these guys are all upset. G20 stops short of condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine in joint declaration. And these guys, look at them. They are very happy. Look at them. As I always say, no substance. No substance. Form, but no substance. Look at them. Look at the guy behind. Am I really here? What the fuck is going on? Yes, exactly. So let's go to the first article. At the G20 summit, officials expressed a desire for a joint and durable peace in Ukraine. But a statement on the war was ultimately watered down at Russia's request. The Kremlin is no longer described as waging a war against Ukraine. And I'm quoting, "The regime in Kiev is illegitimate, the product of a 2014 coup. Never mind," they say, "a popular uprising." If a popular uprising happens somewhere in, I don't know, in January 6th, that's an insurrection. But here is just a popular uprising, is not a coup, okay? Why? Because we liked it and we... Never mind the free and fair election scenes. Today, mere puppets of the West and its population, best understood as lapses Russians, some of whom have been tricked into believing they actually have their own distinct history and culture. And I'm quoting, "I will start with the fact that the modern Ukraine was entirely created by Russia," President Vladimir Putin said last year. Right at a lounge, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, oh, here he is, Jai Shankar. I like this guy. Maybe we can see he explains Ukraine's consensus. Should we? Let's see what we have here. Let's see if we're going to have it. Done. Up. A little bit louder. No? Yes? Hello? Hello? Jai Shankar? Please come back. Oh, we're not going to have this one. It's going to take too long.
Noting that the G20 is not the platform to resolve geopolitical and security issues, the leaders recognized that they can have significant consequences for the global economy. In particular, they dwelt on the ongoing war in Ukraine and the impact it has had, especially on developing and least developing nations still recovering from the pandemic and economic disruption. The three F's, food, fuel, and fertilizers, were issues of special concern. Obviously, there are differing viewpoints and interests at play in regard to the various issues under discussion. However, we have been able to find common ground on all of them.
Very good.
As a result, we can justifiably state that under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's guidance, the New Delhi summit has given clear directions for the growth and development of the global economy in the years ahead. The question who helped, I mean, eventually everybody helped.
So I will show you how Jai Shankar is going to talk about the wordage. And he's going to say Bali was something else. This is G20. This is different. So I'm just going to play about 10 seconds. Ready, Jai Shankar?
To the to the comparison with the Bali declaration, I would only say Bali was Bali and New Delhi is New Delhi. I mean, Bali was a year ago. The context, the situation was different. Many things have happened since then. And in fact, if you see...
So he says that things changed. And he talks about economics mainly. That's what they're concerned about. And these guys too. But they want to take over economically after all this. And these guys say, hold on. We don't want to be your little servants here and just consumers. So let's see if we find anything else. The diplomatic language is almost by definition dishonest. Okay, well, this is, let's see, Jake Sullivan, National Security Advisor to the President Joe Biden, spun it as a win. From our perspective, it does a very good job of standing up for the principle that states cannot use force to seek territorial acquisition. What are you talking about? That the use of nuclear weapons is inadmissible and that a just peace must be based on the principles of the UN Charter. Yes, good job. Yes, I think so. So, my friends, the point is they do not look at it like, hey, it's your wording. And the other article, actually, that I have here with the two weasels, I mean, not weasels, but I know this doesn't know what's going on here. They talk about, for instance, the joint diplomats have been working furiously to draft a final joint statement in the lead up to the summit, but hit snags on language to describe the Ukrainian war. And it seems like a few said like this: the eventual compromise statement amounted to a coup for the summit's host, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but still reflected a position far softer those the United States and its Western allies have hoped individually. So yeah, they didn't listen to you. They try here to talk about the consensus, and they did it eventually. The problem is the absence at the summits of two of Biden's chief global rivals, Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin, provided opportunities for for Biden to make a more affirmative case at the summit. He made it so great that these guys ignored him. So the point is, at G20 is not G7, whereas one guy leads all the weasels. Those are weasels. That's the vassal states, clearly. They're united. That's the G7 for you. G20, you get more from the world and you dilute this hegemony. Here it is. They're angry about it. And that's not a success whatsoever. Remember, Putin was not even there. Not even there. Imagine, I think things go in a different direction. But maybe, I mean, I suspect the Americans and NATO did not run out of aces. They're pulling their aces right now in Azerbaijan. They pull their aces right now in Romania. And you'll see in the Black Sea. You'll see in the Black Sea. Just pay attention to these two, Azerbaijan and Romania, Black Sea, Danube River. I think this is one of the aces they still have over here. And if not, maybe they pull Poland, but Poland was smacked by these guys. Why? They pulled out, the Russians pulled out their military airplanes from Belarus. They left only one Sukhoi 34, I think it is, or 30. And why? Because they told, the message is, Poland, don't even try to do anything with Belarus, because we don't need planes. We have nuclear weapons over there. We're gonna you up. Basically, this is the message. I read it. Now, I guess they got the message as well. That is, you know what? I don't have to defend my borders. The minute you entered, we're gonna destroy you. I think that's the message. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. Why would they leave Belarus unprotected? I think it was a switch between personnel into rockets or missiles. So in this case, well, that's what happens when you have democracy. You dilute the direction chosen by certain. Well, that's how it is in our here, you know, in our democracy here. But you have to accept the international community. Here, G20, they couldn't force them. BRICS stays there, and these guys are going in the wrong direction. Well, we'll see. They're not going to go down without a fight. No. I think they're going to escalate. As I said, they still have aces in their sleeves. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.